Okay, so we do have a bunch of news for what's coming this week to JP Dokkan, including the potential hints of us getting an LR Kefla for part 2 of the celebration. That should be next week, like around the 18th when they drop, but this is very interesting, right? We'll talk about it. We do have, again, a couple of things I do want to cover real quick first before we dive into the LR Kefla thing. Just talking about everything that is coming this week. So, right now we do have the Boma Battle Preparation event is now currently live in game, and here's how it's looking like. I assume that you can do this multiple times per day. It doesn't seem like it's a once a day thing, so again, you can do this multiple times per day and you can get a bunch of good items. In the hard stage, it seems like you can get items such as even the robot here, the I forgot his name, the carrot, monster carrot, right? Nuking items, the rat, there's some good items here. Then Z hard, you get obviously, like your general, like, Whis, Icaruses, Ushers, and stuff like that, right? So it's very much easier to get some of these items. And they also made the map a lot easier, so it's not like some big labyrinth that you have to do. It's just a one way map, so that you just go straight forward. You could easily auto it. So if you're running low on support items, this is a very, very good way to get support items here. So you definitely want to go ahead and get that done. There's also missions for completing this a certain amount of times. You complete it 20 times and you can get, some stones. You get a lot of these extra items here, so it's really, really good. This item is actually really strong. The robot here from the Metal Cooler event, I believe it's like an usher, and then it lowers the attack or something like that. I forgot exactly what it does, but it's a very, very strong support item, so that's really, really good. In fact, I could probably just bring it up real quick. Can I bring it up real quick? Is it in here? Maybe I should have checked before, just so I can show. Yeah, look, delays the target enemy attack and then lowers the enemy attack 66% for 2 turns. Like, this destroys like the Metal Cooler core fight, the first phase, right? But yeah, it's a very, very strong support item. Now, next we have the World Tournament news. Again, I did cover this in yesterday's video, or I guess, yeah, yesterday's video at this point. I'm going to more in depth about what we can anticipate from these units, but I'm very excited for this guy. He could have a 50% stack of attack and defense for a few turns. This guy's a Rainbow Orb Changer stacking. Gohan, we'll see how he is. He gets a buff against 3 more enemies, so you can really do anything with him. We also are getting the confirmation that this Demon King Piccolo is going to, in fact, EZA as anticipated. Again, I covered that in yesterday's video, more into depth. If you want to learn more about, like, I guess what's coming this World Tournament, feel free to do so. But this World Tournament does start this weekend on the 15th, I believe, right? 14th, right? So just keep a look out there, I guess. I probably will be doing a stream for it, or 1 or 2 streams, maybe. This is very important though. Speaking about support items, they updated the Zenny Shop Exchange, and just to confirm here, there are a couple of things added that apparently Global actually already has, but from what I was told by Annie right here, Global actually already has these items in here. So like the Ghost Ushers were added here, Bulma, a healing item right there. We see Whis, Nurse Chi-Chi's, 108's, Icarus, right? All these nuking items were added in here, so very, very useful. Princess Snake Rat, a lot of good items. Some of these are items that you can exchange, with an unlimited amount of times, such as Ghost Ushers. You can exchange for an unlimited amount of times. So if you're running low on Ghost Ushers, like you see, I have 15 Ghost Ushers. I was gonna actually farm some for the upcoming World Tournament this weekend, and now I don't have to worry about that at all. And I'm sure many of you guys who do farm World Tournament will find this as a really, really good, addition here. Again, the nuking items are unlimited, but there are some that are limited, like the Whis and the Icaruses and the Nurse Chi-Chi's, right? Some of these items are limited, so it does depend on the item you're looking for. But again, the shop does reset every day. And since you could trade 3 of each, actually, they're all 3 of each, right? But since you could trade 3 of each, even if you can only get 3 a day, it is still 9 a day, so that's pretty good, right? Like you can get 9 Whis a day. That stacks up over a week, and then you can get a total of like 63 Whis per week, right? It's pretty strong. That's a good thing to see. Just pointing this out, we're getting a new support memory. Son Goku has arrived. We need this as an intro so badly, like so badly. Actually, I think I put it up on a tweet right here. Yeah, we really want this as an intro. This would be so cool, and they have redone stuff as intros in the past, so I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed. But this does definitely deserve to be an intro for like a Dokkan Fest, again, base form Namagoku, Kaoken Namagoku, right? But yeah, this Ginyu Force event is a going to become, what's it called? But the words are not coming out. The Ginyu Force event is going to become a Dragon Ball story, so that's really good here, and that's just helpful, right? For sure. Okay. But beyond that, again, let's just finally get to the LR Kefla stuff. So we know this is a new burst mode that's coming to the JP version. And the JP version is actually going to be getting a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Dokkan event, a burst mode, which is quite interesting. It's very random, you could say, right? That the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks burst mode is going to be a thing here, but that is pretty much what we're going to be anticipating. So the restrictions are for, I wrote down the categories here: artificial life form and time limits. So I did bring up these two categories here. I feel like this, it just random, right? It's just kind of there, and it's like, okay, why is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks getting a burst mode here? Now, I would presume it could be, again, associated with the Part 2 LR. A lot of people are thinking time limit, Kefla, fusions, right? Kefla, Part 2 LR. We know we are getting a Part 2 LR on the 17th or 18th. I believe the 18th is when it drops. We'll get the announcement when the World Tournament ends this weekend, and then they will be in game on the 18th. The 17th is when Part 2 starts, right? This just makes a lot of sense to me. Now, we don't know when the burst mode is going to drop, so especially if the burst mode like drops like with the LR next weekend after the World Tournament, which I feel like would make a lot of sense, even though the Dragon Ball story drops here. I don't think they're gonna drop burst mode, the Dragon Ball story, and World Tournament all on the 14th. I don't anticipate that. I feel like they may save this burst mode specifically for the 18th. Usually takes a couple of days for like burst mode stuff to be out. So in that situation, we could potentially anticipate that Kefla could be the Part 2 or some sort of fusion. I feel like Kefla just makes the most sense, right? I would say this unit could also very likely EZA. Again, I did talk about it in my Part 2 LR3 video, where I kind of dwelled more into, depth about what we're anticipating. But this STR Kefla, I think, is a very likely candidate to get an EZA. Or maybe it could be the Tech Kale, the Tech Leafla and the STR Kale, right? Maybe they could just get their own EZA as well. But we know that based on the Part 2 missions that we are going to be getting an EZA for the second half of the celebration. Because if you take a look here, defeat any enemy in an Extreme Z battle. It could be like the hit sub EZAs, right? That's a very likely possibility. But I would feel like getting a new EZA for Part 2, it would make sense, right? Especially if it's associated with the Part 2 LR, which, STR Kefla EZing with the LR Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. If, like, we got LR Super Saiyan 2 Kefla and she has, like, a really high dodge chance for the first few turns, or guard for the first few turns, we really badly need that for KO. And it would make sense on why LR KO and Khalifa's EZA is not like, the slot 1 god we're all hoping for, stuff like that, right? So very interesting. You can kind of like put the puzzle pieces together, but at the end of the day, Dokkan is weird. They're funny. They could be like, hey, we're just gonna actually give you guys a Super Boo, LR Super Boo for Part 2. We're just gonna throw LR Kid Boo just randomly for April, right? Like, it doesn't have to be necessarily tied to the overall Kel celebration, though. So there's an actual Part 2, right? Who knows, right? But like, we saw Videl came out, and then we got Tapion and Minosha. They're related to Agil Tapion, but you guys kind of get the point, right? It's very random, like not related to the first unit that came out at all. But yeah, that's everything coming this week on JP Dokkan based off of the preparation period. I believe if you take a look here, the preparation period is actually the 12th Pacific time. So today we should be getting the data download for all this stuff, and we'll get the information for what the free-to-play ETAs are going to be, what this is going to be looking like, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, the LR announcement will be on the 16th. That's why, you know, if the LR was going to be in the data download, it would have been announced literally right now with all this information. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all thinking. Thank y'all for watching. Finally, you know, people were saying this celebration was worse than Tech Bardic Celebration. It's like, no, we still have part 2 and all this stuff is still coming. By the way, none of this stuff is really associated with part 2, except for this. All this stuff is associated with part 1. I think this could potentially be in part 2. I don't know when this actually starts, so I don't see a date on this just yet, so we'll see tomorrow for sure. But yeah, again, that's enough for me rambling. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.